volare, wow, wow, cantare, wow, Mario Lanza. His life and career were shooting stars across the heavens of musical history, for he died at only 38 years old. In that short, brilliant life, millions heard him sing and admired his image on the big movie screen. Some were thrilled by him, some were in awe of him, some were inspired by him. Others used him for their own selfish gain. Such was the extraordinary life of the great Mario Lanza. Alfred Cocozza, Mario's real name, was born in 1921, the same year the great Enrico Caruso died, and in his adult years he was hailed by some as the reincarnation of the man with the once-in-a-hundred-year voice. Caruso was young Alfred's greatest hero, and he spent many hours listening to Caruso's records over and over again as a young child. His parents were Italian immigrants who settled in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His father was a disabled soldier who loved opera and had an extensive record collection of great singers. His mother encouraged young Alfred's imitation of Caruso's singing. Young Freddie, as he was called, was a rebellious and wild child, but his charm was so great he got away with many childhood pranks and stunts. Even at a young age, people loved him, and if he stole candy from the store, the proprietor often forgave him. The store owner knew that Freddie often returned what he stole. Freddie was a scrappy kid, stronger than the other kids. His parents had to send him to private school because he got into fights and trouble so often. He was undisciplined and wild as a young tiger. Yet he would spend entire nights listening to Caruso's recordings, and they touched him so deeply he would cry while listening. He cared about nothing except singing. He was a great imitator and could copy the vocal styles of not only Caruso, but also other popular singers of the time. He was a child of many opposites and seemingly conflicting traits. Some say this duality in his personality caused him great problems later in his adult life. At 16, Freddie's vocal talents became apparent. He appeared in local opera productions staged by the YMCA Opera Company in Philadelphia. Former opera soprano Irene Williams was engaged to give him serious vocal lessons, and through her connections in the music world, Freddie was introduced to the celebrated conductor Sergei Kuzuvetsky. Upon hearing Freddie sing, he declared that Freddie had the once-in-a-hundred-year voice and offered him a full scholarship to the Berkshire Musical Festival in Tanglewood, Massachusetts. It was there that Freddie started using the name Mario Lanza, after his mother's maiden name, Maria Lanza. While at the esteemed Tanglewood Music Festival, he became acquainted with the great conductors Boris Goldovsky and Leonard Bernstein. After 6 weeks of study, he made his opera debut at the Berkshire Festival. The New York Times opera critic wrote that Mario had few equals among the tenors of the day in quality, warmth, and power. In such a short time, Mario had been noticed by some of the most influential people in the world of serious music. However, World War II was still raging, and Mario went into the army. He was placed in an entertainment unit and sang with a traveling production called Winged Victory. Los Angeles was a very lucky venue for him. It was there he married his wife Betty and also signed a recording contract with RCA Records. Mario had 3 million selling records. Here's one of the songs. I can't even pretend to sing like Mario, so here's my version of The Loveliest Night of the Year. When you are in love, it's the loveliest night of the year. Stars twinkle above, and you almost can touch them from here. Words fall into rhyme anytime you are holding me near. When you are in love, it's the loveliest night of the year. Waltzing along in the blue, like a breeze drifting over the sands, thrilled by the wonder of you and the wonderful touch of your hand. And my heart starts to beat like a child's when a birthday is near. So kiss me, my sweet, it's the loveliest night of the year. Waltzing along in the blue, like a breeze drifting over the sand, thrilled by the wonder of you and the wonderful touch of your hand. And my heart starts to beat like a child's when a birthday is near. So kiss me, my sweet, it's the loveliest night of the year. Mario combined popular music with his powerful operatic vocal style. It is said he could shake a teacup from across a room with one note, and as exaggerated as that may be, I really believe it. Joe Pasternak, who produced Mario's film, said, "It was a thundering voice, rich, warm, and virile, and mounted to incredible highs." While in Los Angeles, Mario met Louis B. Mayer of MGM Studios, and he was offered quite a lot of money to make movies. Although he really wanted to be an opera star, he needed more time to study and to learn complete operatic roles, which would take years. As he had a wife and family, it was without doubt the best decision to choose the movie path. Ultimately, the unforeseen consequences of this decision created many huge problems for Mario to overcome. The film industry demands their performers look their best when making a movie, and it's true that the camera lens adds 10 pounds to the image on the screen. Unless you are a naturally slim person, actors and actresses are faced with almost constant dieting. Mario had a big frame, and he would easily carry a weight of 225 pounds. Louis B. Mayer mandated that Mario be 175 for filming. This led Mario to utilize insane crash dieting techniques to lose weight. When preparing for a shoot, he would eat a tomato, a grapefruit, and a hard-boiled egg as his daily food intake for weeks on end. He would lose 40 pounds in a little more than a week. While this technique worked, the damage to his psyche and his body were unknown and unconsidered, but the damage was real. Because You're Mine was the third film Mario made for MGM. Filming was delayed for several weeks due to artistic differences between Mario and the production staff, and also because Mario's weight was fluctuating wildly. This next song appeared in the film and won an Academy Award. It was also a million-seller hit single for Mario. He recorded it with a large orchestra and, of course, sang it in his bravura operatic style. To honor Mario, I'm going to sing this song to keep it alive in my own humble way, accompanied by my solo guitar. I hope you enjoy Because You're Mine. Because you're mine, the brightest star looks down my love and envies me. Because you're mine, because you're mine, because you're mine. The breeze that hurries by becomes a melody, and why? Because you're mine, because you're mine. I only know for as long as I may live, I only live for the kiss that you alone may give me. And when we kiss, that isn't thunder, dear, it's only my poor heart you hear, and it's applause because you're mine. I only know for as long as I may live, I only live for the kiss that you alone may give me. And when we kiss, that isn't thunder, dear, it's only my poor heart you hear, and it's applause because you're mine. Mario and his family moved to Italy in May of 1957. He performed several concerts there, and he filmed his last two films while in Italy. He lived in Rome, but he made a special trip to Filignano, the birthplace of his father. This little village is in the province of Molise, and he was treated as a returning hero by the mayor and all the townspeople. There's no doubt he enjoyed Italian food, and we know he loved Italian opera. He also recorded many traditional Italian popular songs. This next one is also one of my favorites, Parlami d'amore Mario. The title means Speak to Me of Love. The name Mario is a derivative of the name Maria. I made this recording several years ago with the help of my wife on percussion, the talented accordionist John Custy, and the wonderful Laura Kendall on violin. It was recorded by Mario Lanza in May of 1952 and was broadcast on his radio show in June of the same year. Most recently, the song has been used in a TV commercial for Dolce & Gabbana perfume. I hope you recognize the song and enjoy our version in honor of Mario Lanza. Come sei bella, più bella stasera, Mario. Splendi un sorriso di stella negli occhi tuoi blu. Anche se verso il destino domani sarà, oggi ti sono vicino perché sospirare non pensare. Parlami d'amore, io tutta la mia vita sei tu,
gli occhi tuoi bella brillano, fiamme di sole scintillano. Dimmi che illusione non è, dimmi che sei tutta per me. Qui sul tuo cuore non soffro più, parlami d'amore, Mario. Parlami d'amore, Mario, tutta la mia vita sei tu. Gli occhi tuoi bella brillano, fiamme di sogno scintillano. Dimmi che illusione non è, dimmi che sei tutta per me. Qui sul tuo cuore non soffro più, parlami d'amore, Mario.
In bocca al lupo is the phrase that Italians use to wish a performer good luck before going on stage. The English equivalent would be break a leg. The Italian literally means into the mouth of the wolf. Quite a terrifying image. I think it really captures the moment before a performer stands before his audience. He could be devoured if he fails. Pressure, anxiety, and stress are the emotions performers must face and overcome as they face an audience, and these pressures do not get smaller the more famous or skilled the performer becomes. Quite the opposite. The better and more famous you get, the more the audience expects, and the higher the stress level. Mario Lanza was no exception to this phenomenon. Some performers turn to alcohol or drugs to assuage their anxieties, whether they are conscious of them or not. Some performers ignore them or sublimate them, only to have them resurface in other damaging ways. Some have written that Mario Lanza used food and alcohol to deal with the tremendous stress his high level of success placed upon him. It is certainly well documented that Mario's weight fluctuated greatly, and he did have a reputation for heavy drinking. He also had outbursts of anger and temper on movie sets, which fortified his reputation as a fearsome beast of a tiger to work with. On the other hand, some of the other artists he worked with loved him and praised him for his warmth and generosity. As I mentioned before, Mario had a duality to his nature that caused him problems. While the public might think that Mario's life was the proverbial piece of cake, the reality is that a public life of fame is much more difficult than many believe. Mario made 7 films, which rocketed him into the spotlight. That Midnight Kiss, The Toast of New Orleans, Because You're Mine, The Great Caruso, The 7 Hills of Rome, Serenade, and The Student Prince. All the songs I'm singing come from these movies. This next song became Mario's signature theme song. It's called Be My Love, from the film The Toast of New Orleans. Again, I sing this to honor Mario's life and memory.
Be my love for you when you alone create. So fill my heart the way you fill my dreams, the dreams that you inspire with every sweet desire. Be my love, and with your kisses set me burning. One kiss is all I need to seal my fate, and hand in hand we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no home but you for me eternally, if you will be my love. My love, and with your kisses set me burning. One kiss is all I need to seal my fate, and hand in hand we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no one but you for me eternally, if you will be my love.
To prepare for his upcoming film, Laugh Clown Laugh, Mario once again needed to lose weight. He was 253 pounds. He entered a medical clinic in Italy which offered a fast weight loss program called Twilight Sleep. Basically, you were sedated for long periods of time so that you did not eat. The German doctor who originally created the treatment warned that Mario was not a good candidate for this because of his other health problems, some related to his abuse of alcohol. Nevertheless, the Italian doctor who ran the clinic admitted him. The prolonged periods of sedation created an embolism in his leg that lodged in his lung and caused his death. He was 38 years old. There are a few very snobby opera fans who deride Mario Lanza because he sang in film, not on the operatic stage. They claim that he had a small voice and recording tricks were used to amplify it. They say he could not remember an entire opera. It is true that Mario only appeared in 2 operas in his life, yet those who have heard him sing live and on record have no doubt he was one of the greatest voices, if not the greatest tenor, of his time. Copyright restrictions forbid me from using any of his recordings on this show, so I recommend you go to YouTube to hear some of Mario's singing. It is simply incredible. Mario influenced many opera stars, including Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, and Luciano Pavarotti. Even pop star Elvis Presley admitted he had been influenced by Mario's singing. Through his films, he created new interest in opera to filmgoers who had never even heard of the art form. Mario could sing everything, from the most difficult operatic pieces to pop tunes, show tunes, art songs, and musical comedy. He was truly the most gifted singer of his time. Armando Cesare, Mario's biographer, wrote in his book, Lanza. Mario Lanza was basically a simple, generous, warm, and extremely sensitive human being who found himself suddenly trapped by success and notoriety in a world in which he did not belong and whose life, because of it, ended tragically. Mario always wanted to be an opera star, yet fate made him a movie star. He succumbed to the pressures that fame in the movie industry had placed upon him. Today we have his films and recordings to testify that he was truly one of the greatest singers who ever lived. For my final tribute to Mario, I'm singing Dicite in cielo voglia, a Neapolitan song that Mario recorded in 1952. Mario loved Italy and all things Italian, and so do I. God bless you, Mario, for the wonderful musical gifts you gave to this world.
Sta compagna vostra che ho perduto sogno e fantasia, che penso sempre che tutta vita mia in ciò volesse dicere, ma non ci saggio dire. Voglio bene, voglio bene sai, Dicite in cielo voglia, che non mi scordo mai, è una passione più forte una catena, che mi tormenta l'anima e non mi fa compagnia. Una lacrima lucente è caduta, dicitemi un poco a che pensate, questo occhio dolce voi solo me guardate, lavamoci sta maschera, dicimo verità. Te voglio bene sai, sei tu questa catena che non ci spezzo mai, suono gentile, sospiro mio cornale, te cerco come l'aria